Okay, Nicky, Shane, it's great to see you at Childline, and of course you've been here a lot. How important do you feel charity is?
Oh, it's huge, absolutely huge. You know, we've been here every year with Childline, and you just look at the acts that have come, you know, through these doors to perform on these shows. It's huge. I mean, the amount of calls that Childline take, the amount of kids that call up, and it's all confidential and it's free. It's imperative that it stays around, and I'm delighted that it seems to be getting stronger and stronger every year with the acts. You know, the amount of big names that come over. I mean, we remember 98, 99 when we first performed, and Boyzone were headlining, and Denise Van Outen would have been presenting it, and you know, things like that are huge. And Caroline Downley, I mean, fair play to her. She pulls at all the stops every year, and this year now, and like last year, we have a brand new venue. It's swapped over now to TV3, which is something different. It's a great show, and I'm so glad it's still going.
Well, as well as that, I suppose, because your dads, you know, your kids now growing up, it's probably important for you now that you're associated with something like this.
It is, yeah. It's my favourite charity, to be honest. Because I have kids, I suppose I worry about my kids now myself. You know, just themselves. Just every day, you kind of worry as a different. You know, as a father now, it's different. And for kids around the country, it is an amazing thing. I know if my daughter was having trouble with something at school or whatever, that she could pick up the phone, because some people can't talk to their parents about certain things, and on this is like basically you're just ringing, nobody knows who you are, and it's so confidential. It's great. So yeah, it is very important to us, and we support it every single year.
Santa's obviously a very big thing. Your kids are aware of Santa?
Yeah, well, Nicole definitely would be. Rocco and Jay
can't
are just learning at the moment. They're they dressed up as skeletons for Halloween, and then the next day they were like, well, what are we dressing up today as? I was like, no, the Halloween's over now, so now it's Christmas. So I've been singing Christmas songs, and they know Santa Claus is coming to town. So yeah, so they're looking forward to it, and they're obviously trying to be good. When they're crying, you're saying, no, but Santa knows when you're crying. So we have threatened them a few times with calling them on the phone. So maybe they'll call Shane. Shane could be Santa when I call him.
That's it.
And I suppose, you know, being home is very important to you. How long will you be back for Christmas?
We've 3 weeks off for Christmas this year. Well, we're planning to have 3 weeks off at the moment. So we'll probably be off around the 20th and then go back around 6th or 7th of January or whatever. So next year is going to be a very busy year. We've a lot of singles coming off this album after Christmas. We're promoting this album right through till next Christmas. So we feel it's very strong, the album, and there's a lot of singles to come off it. And then tour, obviously next summer we're going to start touring as well. So we're going to do a lot of concerts as well next year.
It's going really well, and I loved your performance on X Factor. And I know, Nicky, the last time you were talking to us, you were saying even for established artists it can be difficult.
Yeah, that's right. We spoke to you, I think it was the morning before the show, or 2 days before the show. Yeah, it can, because you've got to be better than they have.
Pressure on you.
So, the pressure's multiplied, and some of them, are the singers that are on these shows now are incredible. Now this year probably isn't their strongest year, but we've done it every year, and the year, like, you've got Leon and these people coming out of it, and you're kind of thinking, holy Jesus, like. But no, we did well. This year was different for us because we were so confident with this song. We knew that this song had legs, and we didn't feel like we were cheating anybody. We didn't feel like we could have something better. We went in there going, we have a cracking song, and let's absolutely nail it, and we seem to have done that.
You're so lucky as men, because you mature like fine wine. Like, are the girls still going mad for you?
They seem to be getting still a good reaction from them, yeah. Obviously Westlife have a fairly female following, but they went great. It was great that night. The X Factor was our first kind of time to sing, in front of a big crowd in like a year, and there was about 500 in the studio, and they went crazy. And I think that really helped us as well with the performance, because as Nicky said, we love the song, we're very confident in the first single, but when you hear that reaction, you go, all right, here we go, and we're back, and that was it.
And you always know when you come off the stage and your phone starts going beep 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 beep.
Like
yeah, most ever. And even Louis then said it to us afterwards. He was like, you always get any sort of you always get feedback, is what I mean. But then when your phone is literally hopping and you're going, boys sounded great, looked great, set was great, lasers were great, songs amazing, and you're going, right, we must be onto something here.
Well, I know your performance is obviously unbelievable, and I'm sure you're sick of people asking you this question. What do you think of Jedward?
I love them, absolutely.
I think they're great. We met them the other night in the plane. They're really nice kids. They're like 18-year-old kids having the time of their life in front of 15 million people every week. You either love them or hate them, but I think the people that used to hate them are starting to love them now. They're definitely crossing the corner or crossing the tide, or whatever you want to call it. But it's entertainment factor, you know what I mean, and that's what they are. They're not claiming to be the best singers in the world, but they're definitely claiming to entertain people, and they do. And I'm watching the show next weekend purely to see what they're going to do. I honestly don't care about the other acts on it. And I think a lot of people just want to see what Jedward are going to do.
I think they've already won the show, even if they don't win the show. Yeah, they've all, like, if they go out next week, they're going to do. It's probably a classic case of someone like I think it was Gareth Gates came second and had a bigger career at the offset than Will Young. Things like that. Their album is going to be massive. They could walk away from the show now, do a deal, do an album, and they're laughing.
TV show. They'll do morning. They could bring back Saturday morning TV show for kids.
I think so. Like,
And
you know,
they
as
will.
well,
They
like
will.
the Chris Evans, don't forget your toothbrush.
Yeah,
You know, 'cause
yeah,
we're all
yeah.
broke now. Well, I am anyway. You're grand, but you know, you're sitting at home, and that's what I find. Like the X Factor is definitely, as Louis said, an antidote to the recession.
Oh,
It is,
absolutely.
yeah, it cheers up people, and I think Jedward just cheer people up. You just laugh at them and you go, "This is amazing." Like last week, Vanilla Ice, that was just, it was classic.
Did you not Sky Plus it?
No, we had.
it. You love it.
I'm
Nice,
dying to
that's
see it
all,
actually. They were on the plane. I don't know if you said, but they were on the plane home with us 2 days ago.
Yeah.
They were getting a brief spell home to film stuff for X Factor, and they were right behind us. And they're just so funny, the lads. I mean, we'd met them when we did the X Factor, but they come out with random stuff. And they said to me, "Nicky, we met you before." I was like, "Okay, yeah." And they were like, "It was outside the Shelburne Hotel, and we had our school uniforms on." I was like, "Okay." And it's just, it's that innocent kind of. They're oblivious to how famous they are. I mean, they're as recognisable now as Beckham is. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
It's actually nuts because I was talking to Will Young last week. It was a great celebrity week last week. Gokwan and Will Young, and they all knew them and they all loved them.
Everybody knows who they are. They're in front of 15 million people every week. You can't help. They're on the front of every newspaper every day. It's literally like a phenomenon. It's like the Spice Girls when they launched. It's literally that big. Like they're getting that much publicity.
You know, Bertie even said to me the other morning, "She's the two lads are doing really well, aren't they? Hope they do well." I was like, "No way! How can you know that?" You know what I mean?
You know, it's gas to say about Bertie because I know that Brian Cowan is fully behind them.
Right, yeah.
After Gordon Brown dissed them, apparently.
did
So that
he?
was the big news in the media, you know. And then today, I don't know what you think about this, but today Paddy Power's released a new poll that said that they are now bigger than the Beatles. Louis definitely knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
Definitely. I think Louis is the strongest contestant on the show, without a doubt.
So you looking forward to tonight's performance?
Yeah, we are. It's always nice to come home to a home crowd. Last time we were here was Croke Park, or last time we were in Dublin was Croke Park. So that's going to be good. But like I said, we've been here every year in some shape or form. I was here last year presenting, and every other year we perform. So it's nice to get back on the stage and do the O2 for the very first time, you know, as a band. So we're looking forward to that.
And as a mom, Georgina, is she still staying really fit? Is she still into all her gym and everything?
Yeah, she is. She's still training hard and doing her best. I keep telling her she looks great anyway. But no,
Keep
she
that
loves,
up there.
No, she's that's in her blood. She'll never lose that.
And do you think as well, like, you'll ever get sick of the spotlight? Like, do you ever just want to sit in your pyjamas and watch the X Factor on a Saturday night and just chill?
But we do. We do sit in our pyjamas, maybe in our pyjamas, and maybe our jeans or our tracksuits, and we watch the X Factor. We live a very normal life, you know. We've families, we've kids and stuff like that, and we literally, you know, we go on stage tonight and do a thing, but we go back to the hotel and put our kids to bed straight after. Like, and that's what it is. Like, our kids are coming down here tonight, so we're just like normal lads outside the stage. We're literally like normal dads. That's what we do.
I'd say they're so excited to come to Childline, are they?
They can't wait. Nicole especially, like, she's 4 now and she knows all the new songs. She's like, "Daddy, what about now?" She'll sing the whole thing. Like Patrick, even, he's 1 and he starts dancing, starts smiling, like, and starts trying to. It's just so cute, like. But it's the first time for them to come down now together and see me on stage, the 2 kids together. So I can't wait for it. And
Daddy's famous, look at him. But that must be the key to success, really, just keeping yourselves grounded and just having the crack with your mates and not being swallowed up by all the celebrity
Absolutely,
rubbish.
I think we've all managed that over the years. I think we've all dealt with it pretty good, to be honest. We're going to give you all a pat on the back here. We're all doing well. No, it is, because you hear so many. I mean, even I don't like to kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of pick out certain bands, but you always hear the stories of bands just letting it run away with the money. You had loads of money and it was all gone, or they turned to drugs, or they couldn't deal with. And I think we've been very lucky and very clever at the same time to be able to look out for each other and not fall into any pitfall or any kind of hole that we could have potentially got into. We've actually kept it sane and easy going and enjoyed it all. Take all the positives and the negatives and being able to deal with the negatives, enjoy the positives that come with it.
Well, lads, we hope you have many more years of it because I know it's in you.
Thank you.
Hopefully, yeah.